Hi guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian. Yes, I still have my Cancer moon background, but anyway, we're talking today about Uranus going into direct motion after he has been retrograding since August of 2021. Now, this is going to be an element of breaking free and feeling freedom and forward momentum in some area of your life that you know you need change in. And you feel you need to make the change, but you haven't been able to actually get that change happening. Also, if there's some area in your life where you need to get more original, inventive, and creative, and retrograde Uranus since August has kind of been backpedaling, you may not have been able to get that working for you either. Pineal gland downloads, insights, very Uranian. They're going to start moving forward in your life again as well. So before I go ahead and talk about this from the all signs perspective, which you know I love to do, I want to start with the idea of what this might mean for the world. I'm very excited by this Uranus direct motion because of a few of the planets in the sky that Uranus is talking to as he stations direct on the 18th of January, 2022. And one of them is that he's in a broad sextile to Jupiter. And Jupiter is a benefic planet in Pisces in his home sign, bringing goodness and opportunity and fruition and all kinds of yummy things to all of us. You know, this is a really, Jupiter, Santa Claus of the Zodiac, has been with Saturn in Saturn's sign and with Saturn for a couple of years now. And finally, as of his movement December 29th into his own sign of Pisces, traditional sign of Pisces, he's free of Saturnian restrictions and he can bring blessings to the collective and to each of us as well. Now, one of the things I'd say, go back and listen to my Jupiter videos for how that affects you directly. If you are somebody who's new to my channel, before I go ahead and keep going, I always forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and maybe check out this lovely earring maker, Etsy jeweler. I'm promoting her stuff below. Nothing, no gain for me, just that I think her work is absolutely beautiful. So if you're new, please do all that stuff. I just broke through crashed the gate of 3,000 subscribers. Guys, it was a long year. I crawled my way up slowly to 3,000 subscribers. So if you like my videos, please share them. Please share them with everyone else. I'm dedicated to continuing to do this channel no matter what. So back to the collective story. Well, you know, and check my description box, get a reading with me, get on my newsletter, the Cosmic Moonshine, swig of cosmic astrology news every week, because if you're on my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, you get a 30% discount code off for readings with me, one-time use, and a bunch of other free gifts. So just check it out below. All right, so back to where I was what I was saying. There's a sextile to Jupiter when Uranus goes into direct motion, which is obviously auspicious. And then in the minor asteroid story, at the very same time, Uranus is trining a minor asteroid called Fortuna, the fates, the fortunes. And Jupiter is also in a trine to the asteroid America. I'm kind of feeling that there's kind of this devil is in the details of the punctuation of the minor asteroids, trying to tell us there's a change in the direction, a good change in the direction of the fortunes of the United States and also of all of the world. Now, the other element that I would talk about here before I do the all signs is that when down the road Uranus makes a connection to a planet from his stationary 10th degree, that's where he stations almost 11, but 10 degrees of the sign of Taurus, where he's been in and out of Taurus since 2018. But, you know, that's where he is. That's cryptocurrencies. That's upsetting the apple cart of the collective banking and monetary systems. That's food disruptions. That's extreme climate change. The Dust Bowl era, Uranus was sitting in Taurus back in the 30s. So, you know, you get the vibe. But he's going through that part of the sky, which he does very rarely. And he is able to connect in about the 30th of January, the day after Venus in Capricorn goes direct. He's able to look over his shoulder at the sun, or the sun is looking at him, moving toward him in what is called a square. The sun will be in Saturn, Saturn sign Aquarius, and Uranus is in Venus's sign of Taurus. Venus will go direct the day before. There's something about that critical turning point on the 30th that I think is about the pandemic ending in the collective consciousness. And I do think that's because Uranus is across from Hygeia, the goddess of hygiene, but also health and healing. And Uranus is disruptive and eruptive and dramatic, great awaker and change. And this whole pandemic narrative is about to come to a crashing, I think, change, Uranus. And even though on the day he stations direct, on the 18th of January, he is in a opposition to Hygeia by 4 degrees. It will be around the 30th of January when he's almost directly opposite Hygeia. Venus has gone direct. No, he's still moving direct, and the sun is squaring from Aquarius. Sun is authority figures and leaders sometimes that are trying to demand the people do what they want. I don't know how you can do vaccine mandates when a pandemic comes to an end. It's going to be an interesting story because the amount of control governments are leveraging right now. In Canada, they're actually getting very punitive, and Canada rates like one of the top 7 countries in the world or whatever for punitive and draconian measures around the virus. So right now, like Quebec is going to tax the unvaccinated. There's only 10% of the population who aren't vaccinated in Quebec who are eligible, and they want to put a tax on them, and they ban them from going to liquor stores and buying cannabis. And like, it's actually punitive, right? It's angry energy. It's really strange. And actually, yes, like, I'm just going to rant a bit. In Quebec, the ICU units for the Omicron variant, 50% of people taking those beds are the unvaccinated, and the other 50 are the vaccinated. And so there's a disproportionate representation of the 10% taking up 50% of the beds. But there is actually not an overflow. I mean, there's not a crisis of not enough beds in the ICU units. India just came out with a study. New doctors are coming out with information from India anyway, and they're saying, yeah, 70% less likely to end up in the hospital. Of those who do, only 10% need oxygen support. Of those who show up, the mass majority of those in the hospital are over the age of 70 with comorbidities. So anyway, I do think that January 30th, there was a funny Stephen Colbert thing the other day where he was like talking about, maybe his last night's show. I'm recording this on January 13th. You'll see it later, but he was talking about how in the Omicron story, he was like, first Fauci tells us this and that, and it was really funny. It just makes me laugh. I love Stephen Colbert, but yeah, sure does, like, fuck everyone. Let's just go to the Omicron party, you know? Excuse my language. So the dealio is that around January 30th, it's going to be evidently apparent to the world that the Omicron variant is what it seems, what South Africa and England have been reporting, that it is intrinsically milder, that does not affect lung tissue, it affects the bronchial. It's like a bad cold with a headache and sniffles and snotty nose and a sore throat for the majority of people. And that if it becomes endemic, which it seems to be, that means everyone gets it, everyone has it, it comes back seasonally, then it's no longer a pandemic. It's something we live with, like the flu and like the cold. Okay, so I'm going to just get a little water and we're going to do the all signs. So stay tuned for that. So let's do all signs. And I think for fun, on top of telling you where this unstuck forward momentum energy may be in your sky, and how since about August 19th, it slowed down, and now Uranus goes retrograde every 7 months. So, and direct every 7 months kind of thing. So it's a feature of our regular scheduled lives. But, I find that I'm always preferring Uranus direct, because then things go forward. So Uranus retrograde in August, for me, just going to say, it's been really slowing down my clarity about where I want to live next, because I'm renting a temporary apartment, and I can't wait till he moves. He's in my 4th house, Aquarius rising. I can't wait till he moves direct. Okay, because I think I'll have real clarity about where I should move. Okay, so let's get going. So first of all, for all of you Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign folk, yeah, guess what? I'm an Aries moon and sun and Mercury and Athena, for us anyway, but especially the rising sign. Always look at your rising sign first. It will be the most accurate. I'm a whole sign tropical Western astrologer using Hellenistic techniques, FYI. Okay, now Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. So number 1, Uranus in your sky right now is in your 2nd house of earnings. Been there since 2018, where he tiptoed in, made October, and then full time got there March of 2019. Will be there, oh my goodness, all the way to 2026 when he exits for good. He wedges out in 25. So there's a lot of change, keyword, around how you make money in this life right now, and it's a rags to riches placement. Temporarily, you have the ability to go really, really up in your money out of the blue. Of course, the opposite applies, down, but really dramatic fluctuations in income and money and possessions. But in the meantime, his movement direct right now is good for your money. So if your money forward momentum and the way you earn your money has been feeling like you want to be more original, inventive, and break free, or some new directions you wanted to take on, or you just really wanted like some dramatic changing in the earnings, money, income, possession story, that's about to happen. I'm going to draw a card for you as well, but just I gave you a very simple delineation. But with Jupiter in your 12th house, if you are like me, a PayPal Stripe girl with revenue from all kinds of countries around the world, then you're going to find that this could be very auspicious for that kind of inbound revenue, because Jupiter is in your whole sign 12th house. And also you could maybe experience inheritance monies, because Jupiter is in a 12th house placement. And like the 4th and the 8th house, this can bring legacy wealth or money from someone in your family who is bequeathing you money. So also tax rebates and government grants can even come from that Jupiter placement. So there's this kind of chunk of money vibe that wants to pick up for you guys over the next few months as Uranus moves into direct motion. Also, I want you to think about how with this energy of Venus going direct later on in January, and she's a goddess of money in Capricorn. She's very capable there in your career house. How around January 30th onward, there's this movement. And, I forgot to mention this in the all signs. Shoot. I mean, in the beginning, Uranus is going to be conjunct the asteroid Abundantia. And oh my goodness, what kind of new abundance financially can come your way after January 30th when Venus goes direct? Uranus sits on Abundantia. And Jupiter is still in that sextile to Uranus. That's going to be fun for us. Let's check out the so sudden surges of abundance for Aries. Woohoo! Now here's your card, Aries. It goes just for you in this amazing thing, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, well, I did tell you you're having a surge of money, tax rebates, you paid too much, government grants, inheritances. I don't know, you could even win money. So this is it, because Uranus is so unpredictable, and he is able to, from your second house, connect to the house of gaming, play the lottery, maybe around the January 30th. Queen of money, Queen of Pentacles. Moving on then, we're just keeping this fun and easy and simple. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign people. Now, Taurus, you're going through a lot. Uranus has been in the house of your sun or your moon or your ascendant, so connecting to you very intimately since 2018, May, through October, then back full time since January of 2019, there till 2026. What it means for you, Taurus, is you're going through a lot, a change. Makes me think of that David Bowie song, changes, So you are being put through the change ringer. Thank you to this massive energy of Uranus. If it's on your ascendant, then you're really feeling it. For instance, if you're a Taurus who's got the rising sign, let's say between 5 and 12 degrees of Taurus, it's almost like you're getting bolts of energy and electricity flooding through you. It's very chi, prana, bad for your nervous system in a way. So take a lot of magnesium and make sure you're really grounding yourself. But for the sun and moon, it's applying a little bit like that as well. People with their sun and moon in those degrees, especially the sun. My daughter's been going through that. I would like you to think of this though as like an inside out job. Uranus is really trying to shift your life and change you from the inside out, not like circumstantial changes. You are changing, and then things around you are changing because you are changing. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. And so now with this Abundantia coming up too on January 30th, in the house of you, what ways can you be more abundant in your life? That's live long and prosper, because it's also about your health, your first house energy. So you can improve your health, abundant health, greater vitality coming up January 30th with that sextile from Jupiter in the 11th house of good spirit, some money luck, some great gains from your career, some friends and allies who want to benefit you. Really lovely turning points for you guys. And Jupiter in your 11th house really can bring you some significant financial abundance and luck out of the blue. It is the pennies from heaven house. So look for that as a turnaround happens on the 30th with Venus the day before, on the 29th going direct, and Uranus activating that energy. And your Uranus is opposite Hygeia in your 7th house. So you may actually find a very healing energy is possible. Hygeia is healing. Very dramatic healing can occur with a significant other in your life during that time. And if the healing is to end a relationship, then that could happen too. So the card I got for you today that goes with this is the balance card, Temperance. Now, Temperance is like very high level energy. It's a major arcana. It's like, the balancing the tension of opposites, mixing the heaven and the earth, the masculine and the feminine. It's also a card of healing. It's Jupiter and Sagittarius is what this card says here. And I do like it because it is very much about finding this exquisite alchemical balance within yourself. And so that's a very, especially when it comes to healing your body. So again, better health is coming for you guys, as well as maybe some financial luck or favors from friends that bring you good financial well-being as well. So that's part of that turnaround is happening on the 18th with some of the evidence of it showing up more clearly when the sun is going to square Uranus, and this energy will be activated that is inherent in the sky story of abundance for you. Okay, what else can I say about that? When the sun is in your Taurus, when your sun moves into your 10th house, and there's that square to Uranus around the 30th of January, that's what's going to be happening. I wonder if you may make a dramatic job change, okay? And that could be a part of where that abundance comes in as well. A dramatic shift of a job or career direction can happen at the end of January, thanks to this action in the sky. I dropped my cards. Give me a minute. There's no way I'm going to stop recording, but I'm going on to the next sign anyway. Yes, Laura, you dropped your cards. I'm on a high top bar stool on a wobbly desk in an apartment that I'm just temporarily living in. Oh my God. All right, moving on. All right. Oh, guys. I appreciate all of you on my newsletter, Cosmic Moonshine, by the way. Thank you for commenting on my last video. I appreciate all your love. Where am I now? I am, yes, a Gemini, sorry. Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign people. So, you know, Uranus is electrified energy of change and the great awakening stuff that has been ongoing since 2018 in your 12th house. Now, your 12th house is a house of your own inner life, your dreams at night, past lives, if you believe that stuff, the connection to the greater truths of the Akashic records and the 0-point fields and the knowledge of all that was and ever will be. So it's also when you have a dream at night, a meditation, a reverie, an insight, a pineal gland download, all those things can be very 12th house-ish. Self-undoing and addictions, bad habits, and self-sabotage, hospitals and insane asylums, some more 12th house monikers. Now, with this Uranus transit here, there's a lot of undercurrent behind the scenes in your life right now. This is a once in a lifetime transit for you Geminis. It's not something that you're going to experience ever again. It doesn't end until 2026. With this particular Uranian energy, as he goes direct on the 18th, in a sextile to Jupiter in the house of purpose and career and reputation, there's something positive changing, maybe dramatically in the, maybe let's say the couple months or 2 months that follow the stationary turnaround around a change in your reputation or status in the world or your career as well. Because you have Venus going direct on the 29th of January, well, Uranus will be sitting on Abundantia, and there's still that sextile from Jupiter. It looks like a good money chunk of money could come to you. Venus is in the house of bequeathments and inheritances when this happens. The house of bank loans and mortgages and leveraging money or spousal money or business partner money. So some kind of abundance is coming from that part of the sky. And the 12th house could be revenue and income from foreign lands and foreign shores as well. So we see abundance coming there out of that 8th house as well. Certainly if you bought an investment, it could suddenly take off, like boom, you know, you bought a stock or crypto or something and all of a sudden it's like flying through the roof. Taking off financially for you. So a lot of goodness for you there, Gemini. And I would say with the sun parking in Aquarius in your 9th house, maybe some of you, because there's a square from the sun to Uranus, could have this kind of push-pull around things to do with travel and trips to foreign lands, or maybe even a bit of a challenge around that. Or if your father is alive and you're a Gemini, the sun in the house of the father, the house of God, the 9th house, and Uranus is squaring that, dramatic conflict or change or situations regarding a patriarchal figure, likely a father. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Oh, did I draw a card for you guys? I don't think so. Let's do one. And the tarot card for you Geminis is the 7 of Cups. Okay, this is time for you to lean into your imagination. What do you want in your life? What do you dream into being? Because you know that 12th house can be your inner life, including your meditations and your daydreams. And so this is like a card that Seven of Cups. It usually shows somebody looking at seven cups and all these visions and images are coming out of it. It's Venus and Scorpio, according to this deck, but the card's name is Imagination. And I'm using the New World Tarot. So I think the prescription here is to really visualize and dream into what it is you wish to create. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. So hey, Cancer folk, am I recording? Oh, am I recording? Yeah. So Uranus in 2018 began to move into the part of the sky that is to do with your great gains from your career and friends and benefactors and friends who give you favors and karmic rewards and your deepest, truest hopes, dreams, and wishes for your life. Now, with Uranus here, it is a very money luck house too, kind of brings some unexpected windfalls. Uranus will be sitting to go direct at 10 degrees of this part of your sky. Certainly, if your ascendant is anywhere near 10 degrees of Cancer, you could really be hitting a windfall of some sort regarding your personal life or changes that hit you very acutely and directly. I do want to say that because Uranus is in that sextile to Jupiter from your 9th house of travel to foreign lands and God and higher education, but it's also the house of courts. If you happen to be a Cancer, you've got a lot of luck when it comes to legal and court cases until mid-May while Jupiter's going through there and at the end of the year as well. So this could be some lucrative, positive directions changing in your favor regarding legal decisions and court cases as well. And again, it's higher education as well. If you're a Cancer rising who's been thinking of writing a book, that could be very much a breakthrough on the process of that or the establishment of connections to publish it. And lastly, if you want to move to a foreign land or if you're thinking of traveling extensively, Jupiter's in the house of visas, Jupiter's in the house of foreign lands. So again, breakthroughs in that area for you Cancer risings, real breakthrough momentum. And Uranus could bring you a really good new connection, an erratic, freedom-loving, inventive new friend of some sort that's connected to a foreign land, even if you're not in that foreign land, you know what I mean? So from a foreign land. Let's draw a card for you Cancer folk and see what the universe has to say. Aha. So you guys are the, two cards came out. Well, I'm not going to do two cards for you guys, okay? So let me just draw another one. If two cards came out for this thing, I'm not keeping both. The Seven of Wands, another seven. All right, so the Seven of Wands is sort of like somebody fighting on the top of a hill with sticks to in order to establish your dominance. Oh no, it says my internet's unstable. I'm pausing the recording and I hope I haven't been having wobbly internet. Let me fix it. I'm back. I hate this. I'm in an apartment. For some reason, the router will always dump me down to the slow speed. And then if I don't remember to bump back up, and the slow speed is so bad that it drops calls all the time on Zoom. So possibly you've been listening to me going, wah, 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 but here we keep going as I halfway through my reading of all signs, realized the internet was bumped back down. Seven of Wands, fighting courageously for what you want, standing on high ground, not giving up, that kind of vibe. Okay. Keep it in mind. If you have to fight to get a visa, if you really need to find friends in high places to help you, then you can fight for that, and it can really turn out on your behalf. Okay, next, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. So you guys have had this Uranian energy moving through your sky since 2018 in your 7th house of primary love relationships and business partnerships, clients, audience, other marketplace, etc. Now, for the average person, it really is about their marriage partner or their committed relationship. And therefore, that's a very strong area of erratic and freedom loving and change. Now, I see a lot of clients have a Uranian transit to the marriage house and suddenly get polyamorous, freedom, marriage sabbaticals, that kind of thing. So you've been probably feeling in your primary marriage and love relationships a lot of change, a lot of instability, a lot of erratic qualities, the on-off switch vibe, maybe because of functional reasons like distance geographically or something. Anyway, so the idea here is that Uranus is going direct and it gives forward momentum to that part of your chart. If your rising sign, sun or moon, especially rising sign, is between, let's go 5 to 15 degrees of Leo, this can radically change your existing relationship in a new direction. And it can even be a radical change toward greater commitment. Who knows? Just keyword is a change of direction in your primary committed love relationship. Now, Leo, there is that end of the month thing around January where Uranus will trine the sun. Square the sun, and Uranus will also be on Abundantia, and also you'll have a sextile from Jupiter. And all of that is to say, what it might look like around the 30th of January onward is some kind of momentum from the sun, all right, sitting in the house of your significant others. Oh, did I just say? That's what happens when I stop my recording. I have to start over. Okay, I don't want to edit this. I'm not editing this. I don't have time or patience. Stop the presses on Leo. We're starting Leo over. Timestamper person, fix this for me. Sorry, guys. You have, sorry, I don't even know how to say what I just did. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Taurus is your zone of influence. It's your career part of your chart. Okay. I may edit this out actually. So sun, moon, and rising Leo, you have Uranus sitting in the high noon of the sky, the 10th house, your reputation. There may be a lot of erratic energy in your career. It might have been on and off, up and down, in and out. Big changes since 2018, especially into 2019. You're not stable in that part of your sky, especially if your midheaven is up in your 10th house in Taurus. There's a lot of fluctuation in career. It will not be steady as she goes. You're trying to find freedom and invention and excitement and exhilaration in that career zone of the sky. During this forward momentum, Uranus is going to be in a sextile to Jupiter in your 8th house. You could have some financial developments that are positive for you in your career, a promotion, maybe more money like government subsidies that help you out, maybe some money from your partner coming through that gives you more freedom, but there's money momentum here. When at the end of the month in January, there is the sun in Aquarius squaring Uranus, and you have this energy of Venus having gone direct in Capricorn from your work house, a few things, flowing harmoniously, yummy developments and change in livelihood and work and career after the 30th. At the same time, squaring pressure from a significant person in your life from the 7th, maybe a push-pull and a conflict of wills around things to do with the work you're choosing, what your partner wants for you. A patriarchal a father figure can be very agitating at the time and pressing against your agenda. There's a bifurcation there, but the spotlight is also on significant relationships. Finally, the 7th house is a legal contract area, so signing a new contract for a new job, signing new agreements are all very possible, but very dramatic changes, very exciting. Uranus is on Abundantia, the asteroid for abundance. So you could have some very big shifts of financial gain in the career coming at the end of January. Here's your card. Wait, where was I? Leo. Oh, the Emperor. That is the ultimate financial foundation and resourcefulness. She calls it the teacher, fire, Aries, Mars, but it's setting new foundations. All right. Also, it's about father. I would suggest for some of you that your father or a father figure is going to really figure prominently in the narrative sometime at the end of January. Moving forward now to the next sign, which will be, of course, Virgo. So Virgo, sun, moon, rising sign, guess what? You're having the energy of Uranus's ingress into Taurus back in 2018 and fully in 2019 and continuing to 26 in the 9th house of higher education, foreign trips and travel, visas, courts, legal affairs. A lot of change energy up there. Your spiritual beliefs are changing. What you believe about God and religion is changing. Now, with this energy all erratically sending bolts of change and awakening to that part of the sky, it is now going to be less confusing because Uranus is going direct. And you may have some big ahas and breakthroughs around trips, travel to foreign lands, things to do maybe with higher education that illuminate with new directions, and sense of freedom can come with that. with this sextile from Jupiter, a lot of this can also bring in help from a business partner or from your significant other. If you're a Virgo who, like a lot of Virgos, is involved in book publishing and writing, this is breakthrough contracts and agreements, new directions are coming through here. But come on, Jupiter's going through your house of significant relationship. And for 9 out of 10 times, that's going to make a very powerful, expansive, fun, generous feeling to your love life with your committed partner, and maybe up level your relationship from, like, you know, living together to engaged to married, all of that. That's a story of 22 for a lot of Virgos. And this energy of Jupiter is meaning perhaps that some of that abundance, abundantia, Uranus on January the 30th, as Venus goes direct finally in your 5th house of romantic love, but also money, luck, and speculation, that you could have quite the boon financially to do with things to do with foreign lands, higher education, beliefs, money, luck, romance, children, and those are 5th house things. And then this boost of energy still coming from Jupiter from your significant other or your business partners, if you have a business partner. Okay. So it's kind of like luscious, yum energy in that 9th house. I mean, in a lot of ways, Virgo, this can look, I know, buying a property in a foreign land, getting a financial break through a court decision in your favor, having your spouse hit the jackpot and apply some of that to send you to school to study something, right? So who knows? Those are just merit. But again, the gist of it is things that come in from your business and love partnerships are very, very auspicious for you right now, especially January 30th onward. Okay, moving forward. Oh, a card for you guys. Sorry, Virgo. Let's get you a card too. I like to fan the cards, but I don't have a big enough desk. So I'm cutting. Wow, that's an abundance card. That's a power, passion, and wealth card. Visionary leadership. That's some strength. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on. Strength. Anyway, strength. And it's the sun in Leo. Now, that's just a great vitality, great joy, great excitement, great passion, great lust in life. It has to do often with wealth, though, and accumulation of power and wealth. So you're really up leveling things, Virgo, after you get that Venus direct in your 5th house. And if you're a fertility bearing age and you're a Virgo and Venus is direct there, and she's in a broad sextile to Jupiter in your 7th, watch out for pregnancy, okay? Could happen. And if you want a baby, that's all great. Then it's super perfect for you. No, yeah, let's keep going. So Libra, sun, moon, rising sign, you're going to have a direct motion energy of Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. Now he's been there since 2018 and then more so in 19. And this doesn't finish till 26. There's a lot of changes, ups and downs in your finances, especially things like your 401k, your investments, you know, the legacy monies, inheritance monies. It's kind of like this energy moving up and down. Uranus can bring sudden bequeathment, sudden inheritance, sudden tax rebates, dramatic shifts in those money stories. And he will be going direct with a beneficent, lovely, happy sextile from Jupiter moving direct in Pisces. So there's flow coming from your work and your livelihood and your health and house, you know, how to stay healthy toward the goodness of your money. So Jupiter says, be healthy and let me support you financially, or get down with your proper livelihood and work. And you've got a lot of luck in your coworkers, colleagues, employees, and collegiate space over the next few months until the middle of May and the last couple of months of 22. So this Jupiter says to Uranus, let's bring her some sudden opportunities financially, boom, or him, whatever you are, Libra. And it's exciting that way. So it just up levels your money for sure, through the work you're doing, though, not through like the lottery. And then the other thing is that on the 30th of January, there's this direct motion Venus that happens the day before. And now we've got Uranus and Abundantia. The sun will be in a square from Aquarius. Well, that can look like a few things. One, there may be some kind of energy of difficulty or conflict with one of your children, or from the romantic corner of the sky, or from the joyful muse that's being squashed by Saturn down there as the sun moves into the 5th house and goes into the square to Uranus. So, you know, you have some dramatic problems going on, changes in energy, like a secret being spilled dramatically by one of your children or your lover, honestly, because it's Uranus is in the 8th house of secrets, and it could be feeling a bit destabilizing around January 30th onward. Then you've got this energy, though, of Venus going direct, a money goddess in the house of land and real estate. So some Libras may buy a home, sell a home, move to a new home. And if you do, it flows in harmony in an earth trine to abundantia and positive energy in your 8th house of inheritances and other monies. Now, you know, get an inheritance coming through in the next first 4 months or 5 months of 22, and then buy a new house or move. These are possibilities, not probabilities, just saying. But there's like flow from the house of the real estate and the home to the house of banks, mortgages, and inheritances that's building up here. And this signature energy is likely to be experienced between January 30th and March, early March, okay, about what I just said. A card, did I draw a card for you? No. Libra? No. Your card is the Magician. So you're working with magic. Now, the energy of Magician is not just like rabbits from a hat. It's drawing down divine will. You know, he says this thing in the traditional cards, and he's got a table of the elements in front of him. It's called Earth and Virgo here, Mercury, Earth and Virgo. It allows you to kind of channel the divine will in this time period as Uranus goes direct, to be a force for enchanted magic to move through you, to see yourself as a creator and an initiator as opposed to anything else, because one energy of the Magician is initiative and creative force to start something. So keep all that in mind. Moving forward to the next sign. All right. I'm kind of talking slow today. I feel like I'm going in slow-mo. It's sunny out there. I'm going for a walk as soon as I get this done. Scorpio moon, sun, moon, and especially for Scorpio rising. Now, Uranus is making change waves for you and erratic, unpredictable energy, and has been in your significant relationship house since 2018. My Scorpio rising sun has definitely had that with his love beloved. They are stabilized now. So some of that erratic change in your relationship to your significant other is most evidenced if your rising sign especially is between, let's say, 5 and 12 degrees of Taurus. This is destabilizing that relationship. It's looking for new ways. It's being inventive. It's being freedom loving. This is a polyamory transit for a lot of people. So, you know, it's a bit of a give each other a lot of room and a lot of freedom, and, you know, do it your own way, and, you know, do not be bound by straitjacket rules of relationship. So this energy is ongoing, but now that Uranus is direct, in direct motion for you, Scorpios, there is a lot more breaking free and breaking through in your significant love relationships, with Jupiter sextiling from the money luck house, gaming, speculation, and stuff like that. This can also be, and Uranus is in the house of legal contracts, a great opportunity playfully, as he goes direct, especially after the 30th when Venus goes direct, to, for fuck's sakes, excuse my language, just buy a lottery ticket for fun. But you can have some money, luck, and opportunity. Watch out for pregnancy. If you are a Scorpio and you or your partner is of childbearing age or desire to have a child, then you might find that Jupiter here, and it's a class experimentator, he'll be in your 5th house of fertility and babies all the way through to the middle of May. And so with Uranus, something unexpected from the house of your partner, it could be that your female partner goes, guess what, honey, I'm pregnant. So that window of watch out is here now. And it gets more intense as we move toward April, but it's still here. Now with Venus going direct in your 3rd house of neighborhoods and online world and marketing and selling, if you're a marketing selling person, then this is going to move you up a notch into greater success in your field. If you want to have more joy, fun, and play and pleasure in the local neighborhood, maybe they finally let the restaurants open up. Believe it or not, they're all closed in some provinces in Canada. I mean, they're shut down. Did I talk about overreaction? In Ontario, they shut down all restaurants and stuff. Gyms are shut down in Vancouver, Canada. I mean, it's kind of draconian. And anyway, so the return of fun by April 30th, January 30th for some of you Scorpios in your local neighborhood, and also more fun and joy and connection to siblings as well. One of the things you might look for is trips and travel that bring you joy, because that's what Venus will do when she goes forward at the end of the month, is get you on a trip somewhere, probably a short-term local trip. And finally, you could find that with the abundantia on Uranus, what is abundance to you? Because Jupiter is in the house of fertility, but it could be some lucky financial break coming to you courtesy of the whole Venus, Jupiter, abundantia story. Let's say January 30th and add about 3 or 4 weeks. Anything else I want to tell you? Well, the sun will be moving into Aquarius and squaring Uranus. That happened also around the 30th of January. Aquarius is your real estate home. There's going to be some changes there. Uranus is dramatic change, square the sun in the fourth house. You're getting ready to move. You're going to have to move. Moving's coming. You're going to buy a place, sell a place, or there's disruptions in the plans around your home. So those are just possibilities. Finally, legacy wealth and inheritance can be eighth house. Sun is father. Uranus is sudden. For some Scorpios, your father may suddenly pass. Just saying, don't get all anxious if your dad is really young, okay? It would likely be something you were already aware of, that he's elderly, frail, etc. When is that? Sometime after January 30th, probably through until probably, add about 30 days. The card I drew for you is something I drew for another person, temperance. Find the balance in your life, the alchemical healing, the mixing between the masculine, feminine, the heaven and the earth. This is a beautiful card for healing. It's Jupiter in Sagittarius, full of Jupiterian juice. Very positive card. No matter how turbulent life is around you guys, Scorpios, this is something you can access inside of you for that balance, that temperance. Also, steel is tempered, so yeah, sometimes life tempers us by hardship. Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising sign. So Uranus, since 2018, began to turbulently change or mix it up for you, shift your gears in your sixth house. Your sixth house is a house of work and health routines. And sometimes when Uranus is going through here, he disrupts those work routines. Maybe you have had erratic work routines since 2018, 19. And now you also may have had ups and downs and really erratic changes to your well-being physically. With his direct motion, things may go less erratic, but more powerful momentum around change. You would like freedom here. If you're working at a 9 to 5, Uranus is like, no, we can't do that. We're going to find you something way outside that box. With the energy of Jupiter sextiling from the fourth house, there's some breaking through energy coming here around your home and your land and your real estate and where you live, regarding how it also connects to your health and to your work. Also later on January 30th, Venus will have gone direct the day before, and she's in Capricorn in your earnings house, in your possessions house, selling a home, buying a home, selling a car, moving forward to a great, more financial prosperity in your earnings and revenue, but also connected to your home as well, and as well your work. When the sun is in Aquarius, you may have some constriction with a brother or a sister, a sibling, because it will square that Uranus in the end of the month. And the third house might just be a place of friction in general, which is things to do with your local neighborhood environment, or maybe disruptions to travel plans that you had put in place or are trying to put in place. Alrighty, that is something I'm talking about for the end of January into maybe, let's say, the first week or two of February. The card for you, Sagittarius, is the Ace of Cups. You're trying to find a new beginning. This is all aces are starting afresh. And this is about your creativity. It's about your emotional satisfaction. This is about your heart, your joy. So where are you trying to refresh your screen there and find something new that's deeply emotionally and truly a new beginning, and a satisfying one at that? Let's move on to Capricorns. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising sign. You've had Uranus moving through since 2018, 19-ish, your house of romantic love. I kind of always joke about you guys. Capricorns are very dedicated, committed, want lasting love, fixed love. Taurus rules your house of romantic love. You're looking for steady as she goes, but Uranus is not letting you do that. So you've had some wild, probably a lot of you love relationships swings way outside your comfort zone since 2018. And now you're going to have this direct motion Uranus in the house of romantic love, the house of money, luck, and speculation, the house of your joy, the house of children, moving forward. With this Uranus moving in direct motion on the 18th and in a sextile to Jupiter in your third house, this energy could bring you Well, first of all, if you're single and you're Cap, this is get yourself on a dating app. Uranus is the internet, third house is the online world. Moving forward, maybe getting, someone like, asking you to go on a date from a dating app or getting yourself on a dating app. But if it's not that, then, and you have an existing relationship, it could be actually a good trip you should take or will take. Jupiter in the third house, domestic travel, usually not too far off. And you go on a trip together, and it could bring greater connection or establish greater flow in an existing love relationship or with a child as well. Now, later at the end of the month, Venus will go direct on the 29th, and then we'll find that just shortly after that, there's this kind of Uranus on Abundantia energy, as well as the sun squaring Uranus from Aquarius. Well, this is a money story or possession story, right? There's sun energy, focus on your finances, and it's squaring Uranus in the romantic love and children house. Simply, a kid could come to you out of the blue as an adult and say, I need a lone dad or mom. And you're like, you have to think about whether you want to do that, because there's tension between that sun and that house of children. But your romantic or love partner could equally be stressing you out on the financial front at that time. Yet with Abundantia on Uranus, the flow from Jupiter in the third house, there is goodness here around your money. And with Jupiter on Abundantia, with Uranus and Abundantia flow from Jupiter, it is not a bad idea for you guys to try to win the lottery just around that time, around the end of the month, like the 30th to maybe the first week of February. The card for you guys that goes with this direct motion Uranus that the universe wants you to know about is the 10 of Pentacles. It can be an opportunity to level up in your money. This is the extreme wealth card. It's also legacy wealth. So if you have a Capricorn placement in your chart, sun, moon, especially rising sign, is there a possibility of some financial fortune from one of your parents or from a grandparent or something up your family line that may come to you during this time, like a death of a parent? Not all I'm going to predict that for you, but just in case, quite possibly that there's going to be a resolving of estate matters or something like that. Right. Just saying. Aquarius, sun, moon, rising. I'm an Aquarius. I always tell you guys that. I got Saturn on my ascendant. I'm an Aquarius. I've got South Node there as well. I am very, believe it or not, sober-minded and serious. Saturn on the ascendant with the South Node. It's like I needed an ashram instead of a real life. I'm not of this world. So what happens here for us, okay, is simple. This is our fourth house. We have Uranus in the house of our home. The nomad transit started in 2018. Yeah, I have moved to Montreal and then back from Montreal to Vancouver. What's next? With Uranus moving direct for Aquarius rising, especially, there's new momentum and clarity that's being given to us as of the 18th about where to go next. And it may have sudden oh my God, this is where I want to buy a house, sell a house, move, get a new lease, etc. So just be patient. I know, if you're like me and you've been feeling you're supposed to move and you're a rising sign Aquarius, it's coming, but you're not sure what this is going to change. Now, Uranus was also in a sextile from Jupiter in your second house of possessions and financial money flow and revenue. That's good. So you can afford to move, or the place that you're going to get is really, really affordable, or some good money comes to you in some way that allows you to do this move with ease, grace, and flow if there's a move, or dramatic changes in the home, just even if you don't move, suddenly you've got, the kitchen and redo it. I don't know. As well, you could sell a possession like a car or something expensive, some jewelry. I've been thinking either of those. So Jupiter is a liberating energy and kind of like expanding your money energy that's here until the middle of May. So this is nice, right? When Uranus is hitting Abundantia, the asteroid, and they're traveling together around the 30th of January, and Venus is now gone the day before into direct motion. This energy can be very flowing and harmonious for your finances. And you may find that you're getting money coming to you from the following areas: legacy wealth, inheritances, spousal money, tax rebates, income from foreign lands. Those are possibilities. You just could get a chunk of money connected to themes of home and land as well. So I'm in this kind of cool lottery that has to do with real estate. So I'll let you know if that happens for me. And the other thing is that with this energy of the sun in Aquarius, it's on our sign, right? We're sun and moon and ascendant Aquarians get lit up when the sun comes into Aquarius. And while everybody else is not necessarily loving up life, we're getting the light of the sun on us, and we feel more vital, we feel more alive, and so when does that happen? Well, on average, it's Aquarius season, right? So it's like the third week of January to the third week of February. So with this energy building for us and the solar light shining on us, which is so lovely, now that sun is squaring Uranus in the fourth house. Now, because it's the sun in the house of us, I don't think it's as difficult as it could be for others. It's more like we're looking at sudden dramatic changes regarding our home, and our solar energy is kind of lit up around that. We're really having incredible momentum. This is good for our physical vitality, and it could simply also mean that you're going to move somewhere that vitalizes you in a very dramatic way. The card we have is the Emperor. It's called the teacher in this deck, but it is about financial abundance in the sense of having a solid foundation of money beneath you or resources beneath you. Of course, it's the king energy as well, and it's Mars and Aries energy. So all I can say, is like it's good solid financial materialization, manifestation of resources and abundance and money for us Aquariuses. All right, I hope I didn't forget to do a card for anybody. And now last but not least is always our Pisces fish folk. Okay, fishy Pisceans, guess what? Uranus has been destabilizing third house connections for a while, 2018, disruptions of things to do with coffee shops and cafes in your local neighborhood environs, erratic and disruptive energy with siblings. That applies to my Pisces rising sister. We had all this sibling tension between the three witches of Northwick. My sisters and I are all witches. One's a tarot reader, one's a Reiki healer, and I'm an astrologer. So there was all this like really crazy ass tension there for my youngest sister for a while with one of my other sister. And it blew up around tension. And, erratic energy with siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins is basically where I'm going. However, another way is an erratic energy around trips and travel. One of the things I'd say, Pisces, is that this is also your local neighborhood and Uranus wants to change it. So you might be moving your neighborhood over somewhere else. You might be moving to a new hood, of some kind over the course of now between 26 when Uranus is moving through that part of the sky. Now there's forward momentum in online stuff, sibling stuff, writing, if you're writing, that kind of stuff as Uranus goes direct here, and with support from Jupiter in the house of your body. If you need to be physically fit, healthy, vital, feeling good about you, Jupiter will help you until mid-May. You are leveling up in your body and your sense of self. You are expanding yourself. And this is part of what Uranus will help you do from that third house energy. Now, you could say that maybe on the 30th of January, as the day before Venus has gone direct from your house of great gains from your career, money, luck, opportunity, friends and allies who treat you as benefactors and want to do you big favors, all that, especially a woman or a sister, because Venus represents sisters, giving you money, blessing you with a favor, opening up some gateways of financial well-being for you. And there's abundantia on that Uranus. So there's abundance through siblings. There's abundance through allies in your extended family network. Possibly, if you want to learn something new, this is skills-based learning, and you may, Uranus, have an aha to go forward and learn something new coming for you, like a course of study of some kind, as that direct motion Uranus kicks into gear for a few more months. The card for you is the Six of Wands. Now, Jupiter and Leo. I like this. This is really a positive card. Usually there's a man on a horse and it's almost about victory or success or moving forward in a positive way. She calls the card victory, and it is about victory. And it's about also being able to access your spiritual powers to achieve that victory, not from the hard scrabble real world, but from the dream time and the deeper layers of who you are, to be victorious over something in your life and to succeed at what it is you're aiming for. I think that's all I want to say. Well, the sun in Aquarius in your 12th house is lighting up your dreams at night and insights from dreams at night. That's already here. It started the third week of January. And will But when I get closer down to that square to Uranus, you could have a very big dream around January 30th, like boom, coming at you about things to do with neighborhoods, siblings, online world, education, or insight in a meditation or a trance journey of some sort. So you have this big solar light energy shining in that hidden 12th house. It's also the house of sabotage, undoing, and ways we get stuck in our own straitjackets of habit. And the sun is shining there, and Uranus breaks all things that are stuck. So yeah, big shifts there as well. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being a part of my community here. If you want to join me on Patreon, you can check all of that information below. I have a small community. We meet 3 times a month, big meetings twice a week, and then a big once a month meeting. And we get together, and it's personal, small group. I only have like 23 subscribers on Patreon. So our meetings are very intimate because, of course, only a fraction of people actually make them. Mwah. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day. Ciao to everyone here, day, year, month. Thanks again for being a part of my community.